So this is my little daily reminder of what CF has given me.
I got cystic fibrosis. See, I've got cystic fibrosis.
Welcome back, everyone. Hello, my name's Chelsea, and welcome back to season 4 of Staying Salty. If you have no idea what that is this channel, which is a channel where we talk about having cystic fibrosis, which each of us have, and living with it, any advice that we have, and stories from our lives and living with cystic fibrosis. So, what cystic fibrosis is a lung disease that affects our mucus production in our body and ultimately affects a good part of our life. So with that, we kind of wanted to start this week off with something that might seem a little strange to you. When you think of a disease or anything like that, you think of, how horrible it is and how detrimental it is to your life and how nothing positive can come out of that. But this week we're actually talking about the gift that CF has given each of us and what it's given us that maybe normal people who don't have CF don't have. Because living with this disease, it does take a lot out of you, and there's a whole lot of really crappy parts of it, but it does give you some good things in your life. And for me, the one thing that CF has given me that I don't think normal 24-year-olds have is my perspective on life. And what I mean by that is how I look at life, how I conduct myself, my dreams, my future, just how I look at the world around me, essentially. And I think a lot of that, the only way I can really describe it is how people have a near-death experience. So when someone who doesn't have a disease, a normal person has a near-death experience, and they make it through, and they come out on the other side, and they all of a sudden have this new realization of what the meaning of life is, and what they want to do, and how they want to live their life, and how precious life is, and not to take it for granted. Well, I haven't had a near-death experience, but pretty much my entire life, I have come to learn and come to understand how precious life is because of the disease that I have. Cystic fibrosis can be life-limiting, and it can cut your life short, and that idea, even at a young age, made me value life so much more. And I think a lot of people conduct their lives and go through day-to-day activities as if they're going to live forever, and they push things off that they really shouldn't, that would make them happy, like telling the person they want to that they love them, or taking a vacation with their family, or just simply saying, I appreciate you and I love you to those around you. Because in a normal person's eyes, they don't expect tragedy, they don't expect death, they assume they're going to live until retirement and live a normal life. At an early age, living with cystic fibrosis, I learned that that wasn't the norm for a lot of people, and even people without cystic fibrosis. You can get hit by a car and your life can get cut short. And I think the whole premise around knowing how fragile life is and how delicate it is gave me a real appreciation for life and a real value of how important it is to tell those that I love them, and how important it is to value every little part of life, because it's not guaranteed. No one on this earth is guaranteed tomorrow, and especially someone with cystic fibrosis, we don't know what we're guaranteed. So it's forced me to take a step back and look at life in a much broader sense, rather than what most 24-year-olds are doing, which is just going through the motions of getting a job and doing what you're supposed to be doing. And I know for me, the reason that I am the person I am, and the reason I have such a free spirit, and I am so positive and I want to travel the world, and I have traveled a good bit of it already. It's because I don't want to miss out on anything. I don't want to wait until it's too late to do something. I want to experience everything that life can give me. And I wouldn't have had that outlook or that desire if I didn't have cystic fibrosis. I don't think I would value life nearly as much as I do if I hadn't have had to face the reality that it might get cut short. And facing that reality really makes you appreciate everything so much more. It also makes you slow down. And having low energy sometimes with cystic fibrosis and not being able to do quite as much as I'd want to do, like most people my age, it makes me slow down and take the little things that most people take for granted and take them and appreciate them. Like going to lunch with a friend or spending quality time with someone. It makes you stop and it makes you appreciate what you have in front of you rather than looking 10 years down the road as to where I want to be. So taking things a little bit slower because you have CF isn't completely a bad thing. As much as CF sucks and as much as it hinders our lives, it, for me, has also given me such a greater appreciation for life as a whole and how fragile it is, and to take every moment and cherish it and don't take anything for granted. Because at the end of the day, no one is guaranteed tomorrow, and CF has allowed me to learn that at such a young age, where sometimes people don't realize that until they're well into their 60s or 70s and they wish they had slowed down and taken time to look around and appreciate what they had, like I am now. So, kind of funny, as a daily reminder, you've probably seen this in other videos, I got a tattoo, large tattoo, when I was in Thailand, because we sat down with Buddhist monks and learned about Buddhism and philosophy and a lot of different things that spoke very deeply to me. And what my tattoo says, it says everything is impermanent. So it's the philosophy of impermanence, and that's the philosophy of life. Nothing is permanent. And to me, what that tattoo represents, it says cherish the high times because they're not going to be here forever, and endure the low times because they're not going to be here forever either. You're going to get through the rough times, and the good times come and go. So take them and cherish them for all that they're worth. So this is my little daily reminder of what CF has given me. So I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, like it, subscribe. I'll put all the links, I'll put all the links to our social medias, all that there, down in the description. So I will talk to you guys next week, and stay salty. Bye, guys.